Now let's go to Italy. And Julia Child, today Parma, where the specialties include pasta, pork, and Parmesan cheese.
This is Parma, a city founded by Roman legionnaires in the year 183 BC. Parma is famous for its opera. This is the opera house back here, the Teatro Regio. Both Toscanini and Verdi are Parmigiani. And people take the opera very seriously. They will hiss and boo and even throw tomatoes if they don't happen to like the performance. The people of Parma are as demanding about their food as they are about their opera. Most Italian women make their own pasta, and Carla Caraglia is no exception. Buongiorno, Carla.
Buongiorno, signora.
What are we making today?
Tortelli di erbetta.
Tortelli
di erbetta.
Di erbetta? Sì. How do you do it?
Questa è la dose per 4 persone.
For
Prendo
4 people.
400 grammi di ricotta, 2 uova.
She takes about 2 cups of ricotta cheese and 2 eggs.
100 grammi di parmigiano.
And about a third of a cup of Parmesan cheese.
Mezza tazza di erbette o spinaci.
And then about half a cup of
10 grammi di
and a little bit of salt.
sale.
That was cooked, chopped spinach, sauteed in a little bit of butter and flavored with salt, pepper, and a little nutmeg. Oh, and just a little tiny bit. That's about a teaspoon. And just fold it over. And the pasta has to be quite good and fresh and quite damp, or you wouldn't be able to do it. And cutting it with a special tool. Ready to cook. Nice to know that this is not only the restaurant kitchen, but this is Carla's own kitchen, and where the family cooks and eats right at this table. Now, ready to go. Let's cook them. Boiling water. Carla, quanto tempo?
5 minuti.
5 minutes of cooking. Well, that's very fast. Carla tells me it's very important to get all the water off because there's any liquid on it, it dilutes the flavor of the butter and cheese. Now, first, cheese on. Now, this is a good point. And then the butter on, and the cheese makes the butter stick on. Oh, beautiful diet food of the best type. Now, I shall eat a little piece. That looks just lovely. And call a little more Parmesan cheese.
Vega?
I love that so. That's so good.
Questo quella per me pari sono a quant'altri d'intorno mi vedo.
Parmesan cheese is the most important product of this area. To bear the name Parmigiano Reggiano, it must age for at least a year and a half. During that time, the cheesemaker inspects his cheeses every day. If there are any hollow sounds, that means bacteria has set in, and surgery must be performed to remove it. The cheese-making process takes place 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, so it's easy to see why a cheesemaker never gets a day off until the day he retires. Oh, look at that. Leo, how much does this weigh?
Well, about 70 pounds.
This is Leo Bertossi of the Cheese Consortium of Parma. How do I know when I buy one of these cheese that it's a real Parmesan?
Well, by looking first at the rind, because only the rind bears the right name of the cheese, which is Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano. Now, once I bought a big piece like this, how am I going to keep it?
Well, wrap it in a plastic foil first to keep it out of air, and then in paper to keep it out of light, and then put it into the refrigerator, but never freeze it.
The whey that was left over from the cheese-making process is not wasted. It's used to feed the pigs. These hams are not cooked. It's not necessary because the salt and aging process cure them. To bear the name Parma, the hams must be at least 12 months old before they leave the factory. So they hang, row upon row, 70,000 of them, until they are ready for that final seal of approval and are able to be called Parma ham. look at this. Oh, grazie, signore.
Prego.
Oh, this beautiful food. I've been dying to dig into it. There's the Parmesan cheese and the prosciutto. And this is a specialty of the region. This is called torta fritta, if that's the way you pronounce it. It's pasta dough that's been deep fried, and you eat it like bread. So you start in with a piece of ham, and then you take a bite of that, and then a little cheese. And this is the local light sparkling wine of the region, Lambrusco. From Parma, Julia Child, buon appetito.